Imagine an empire so vast that it connected the farthest reaches of Asia with the heart of Europe. An empire born from the harsh, windswept steppes of Central Asia and forged by one of history's most formidable leaders, Genghis Khan. This is the story of the Mongol Empire, a force that would change the world forever. The Mongol Empire's origins are humble and deeply rooted in the nomadic life of the Central Asian steppes. Various tribes roamed these lands, constantly clashing over resources, power and survival. Among them was a young boy named Temujin, born around 1162. His early life was marked by extreme hardship, the murder of his father, the betrayal and abandonment by his own tribe, and years of struggle just to survive. But Temujin was no ordinary boy. Driven by a fierce determination, he began to unite the Mongol tribes under his leadership. Through a combination of personal charisma, strategic marriages, and military prowess, Temujin gradually emerged as the most powerful leader of the steppes. By 1206, after a series of victorious battles and alliances, he was proclaimed Genghis Khan, the universal ruler, at a grand assembly of Mongol chiefs known as a Kurultai. This moment marked the official founding of the Mongol Empire. With his new title, Genghis Khan embarked on an ambitious campaign of conquest. His military strategies were innovative and devastating, combining the mobility of the Mongol cavalry with psychological warfare and superior tactics. One of his first major targets was the Jin dynasty of northern China, a powerful and wealthy empire that had long exerted control over the Mongol steppes. The Mongol campaigns against the Jin were brutal and effective. Genghis Khan's forces used their mastery of siege technology and fearsome cavalry charges to crush Jin resistance. In 1215 they captured the Jin capital, Zhongdu, known today as Beijing. This victory was not just a military success, it was a statement of the Mongol Empire's growing power and influence. With China partially subdued, Genghis Khan turned his attention westward to the Khwarezmian Empire, a prosperous realm that controlled much of present-day Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. The Khwarezmian Shah made the fatal mistake of executing Mongol envoys, a grave insult that sparked Genghis Khan's wrath. What followed was a campaign of utter devastation. Mongol forces swept through the Khwarezmian cities, destroying them, massacring populations, and incorporating the survivors into the Mongol Empire. The destruction of Khwarezm demonstrated the terrifying power of the Mongol war machine and sent a clear message to other would-be challengers. By the time of Genghis Khan's death in 1227, the Mongol Empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea. But the story of the Mongol Empire didn't end with Genghis Khan. His successors, including his sons and grandsons, continued to expand the empire, pushing its borders further and further. One of the most significant expansions came under the leadership of Genghis Khan's grandson, Batu Khan. Batu led the Mongol armies on a campaign into Europe that would spread fear and chaos across the continent. Between 1236 and 1242, the Mongols invaded Russia, Poland, Hungary, and parts of the Balkans. Cities were razed, armies annihilated, and entire populations displaced. The Mongol invasion of Europe was so devastating that it became known as the Mongol Terror. However, this campaign came to an abrupt halt in 1241 when news of Ogedei Khan's death reached Batu. The Mongol princes returned to Mongolia to choose a new great Khan, leaving Europe in a state of shocked relief. While the western expansion of the Mongol Empire created terror, the eastern part of the empire continued to grow under the leadership of another of Genghis Khan's grandsons, Kublai Khan. Kublai's vision was different from that of his predecessors. He aimed not just to conquer, but to rule and integrate the diverse cultures within his empire. In 1271, he founded the Yuan dynasty in China, after defeating the Southern Song dynasty in 1279. This marked the first time in history that all of China was unified under foreign rule. The Yuan dynasty would govern China for nearly a century, during which time Kublai Khan promoted cultural and economic exchanges between East and West, fostering a vibrant multicultural empire. But the Mongol Empire was not only a military powerhouse, it was also a sophisticated and innovative administrative entity. Genghis Khan implemented the Yasa, a legal code that emphasized discipline, loyalty, and unity among the diverse peoples of the empire. The Yasa was instrumental in maintaining order across the vast and varied territories of the Mongol Empire, covering everything from military discipline to trade regulations and family law. Under Mongol rule, the Silk Road, the ancient trade route connecting the East and West, was revitalized. The Mongols ensured the safety of merchants and travelers, leading to a period known as the Pax Mongolica, or Mongol Peace. This era saw the flourishing of trade, the exchange of technologies such as gunpowder, papermaking, and the compass, and the spread of cultural and religious ideas across continents. The Mongols, known for their military brutality, were surprisingly tolerant of different religions, allowing the practice of Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, and traditional shamanistic practices within their empire. This religious tolerance helped to maintain stability in their diverse empire and encouraged the blending of cultures. The Mongol Empire became a melting pot of civilizations. Chinese, Persian, Arab, and European influences mingled, leading to advancements in astronomy, medicine, and literature. The Mongols themselves became patrons of the arts and sciences, contributing to a legacy that would influence the world long after their empire had faded. However, the Mongol Empire, like all empires, was not immune to decline. The seeds of fragmentation were sown in the late 13th century, as internal strife and succession struggles weakened the central authority. After Kublai Khan's death in 1294, the empire began to fracture. The centralized power of the Great Khan diminished as regional khanates, such as the Golden Horde in Russia, the Ilkhanate in Persia, the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia, and the Yuan dynasty in China, became more autonomous. Cultural and administrative challenges further strained the empire. In regions like China, the Mongols struggled to adapt to local customs and governance, leading to alienation and resistance from the population. The empire's economy, heavily reliant on trade, began to falter due to internal conflicts and the eventual loss of key territories. The spread of the Black Death in the mid-14th century dealt a final blow, decimating populations and disrupting trade routes across Eurasia. Rebellions also took their toll. In China, the Yuan dynasty faced mounting opposition from the Han Chinese, culminating in the rise of the Ming dynasty in 1368, which ousted the Mongols from China. Elsewhere, local rulers asserted their independence, and the once mighty Mongol Empire fragmented into smaller, more manageable states. Yet, despite its decline, the legacy of the Mongol Empire is undeniable. It played a crucial role in shaping the political, cultural, and economic landscapes of Eurasia. The Mongol conquests facilitated the spread of ideas, technologies, and cultural practices across vast distances, leaving an indelible mark on the development of societies across Europe and Asia. The Mongol Empire's administrative practices, particularly their meritocratic military and emphasis on trade routes, influenced the governance of subsequent empires, including the Russian Tsardom and the Ottoman Empire. The concept of a vast multicultural empire governed by a single overarching legal code is a testament to the Mongols' administrative genius. In the centuries since the fall of the Mongol Empire, historians have debated the Mongols' legacy. Were they ruthless conquerors who brought death and destruction, or were they agents of cultural and economic exchange, paving the way for a more interconnected world? The truth, as is often the case, lies somewhere in between. The Mongols were both destroyers and builders, conquerors and administrators, brutal warriors and patrons of the arts. In conclusion, the Mongol Empire was a transformative force in world history. It reshaped the political, cultural, and economic landscape of Eurasia through its military conquests, administrative innovations, and cultural exchanges. Though it eventually fragmented and declined, the empire's influence continues to be felt in the regions it once controlled. The story of the Mongol Empire is a reminder of the profound impact that one group of people can have on the course of history, and it remains a pivotal chapter in the history of Eurasia.